Hi guys, this is gsandon.com and I'm here with the iPhone 6s Plus for an unboxing. We've already unboxed the iPhone 6s and now it's time for the phablet version. It debuted earlier this fall, just like the other model, and this one is the phablet with a starting price of $749, at least in USA. Okay, so this is the product. It comes in the following color versions. It comes in silver, it comes in gold, space gray, or rose gold. So those are the variations of the product. Now let's see what's inside the box. As you can see, the design should be basically the same with the one from the iPhone 6 plus or minus those very curved edges of the screen. Okay, so as I said, inside the box we got the following items. This smaller box in which we find the metal key that allows us to access the nano SIM slot, and a bunch of manuals and stickers as usual for an Apple device. Let's put this aside for now. This is the charger, a 3-prong charger that may require an adapter in some countries. The EarPod headphones that haven't evolved much from the iPhone 5 onwards, and the USB lightning cable used to connect to the charger, juice up the device, or to connect the device to the PC. Now it's time for the initial setup, and before we do that I'm going to insert a nano SIM card just to be covered. So I have my own key. As you can see, it's a bit bigger, it's from another device, and now it's time to put the SIM inside. Once again, the phone is priced from $749 upwards, and at the same time with the iPhone 6s Plus, we're testing the iPhone 6s, so the review is going to be very interesting because you can actually compare the results of the two handsets together. So coming in rose gold, space gray, gold or silver, from what I know, quite a few variations of the color choices. Simplistic box, a bit taller than usual, and this model is actually a bit beefier than the predecessor. It measures 7.3 millimeters in thickness, which means it's thicker than the 7.1 millimeters of the iPhone 6 Plus. It also weighs quite a bit more. It weighs 192 grams compared to the 172 grams of the iPhone 6 Plus. I'm going to go with English, select this region, setting up the language, and now it's time to choose a Wi-Fi network, authenticate, and then start the setup process, and time to input the password, which I'm not going to show you. Okay, so thanks to the very fast and very well spaced virtual keyboard, we typed fast. Now it will be time to authenticate in our account. Enable location services, set up Touch ID later. I'm very curious to see what the fuss is about, because supposedly Apple has created a new type of Touch ID. They have a new generation of Touch ID here. Okay, so don't add passcode. Set up a new device, and now it's time to do yet another bit of authentication, so back in a jiffy. Okay, so here we go. It's setting up the Apple ID, the usual terms and conditions, agree. Once again, the fastest setup process has got to be this one here. Android may take about the same or a bit longer, while the longest one was, last I checked, the one from Windows Phone. Perhaps Windows 10 Mobile will have a shorter setup process, it remains to be seen. So as I said before, this model is thicker and heavier than the predecessor, and it comes in 16, 64 or 128 gigabyte versions. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and choose the standard view, and welcome to the iPhone. I already feel the need to increase the brightness a bit, deactivate the Bluetooth, and enjoy the experience here. As you can see, the interface hasn't changed much. The new thing here in iOS 9 is this screen here that should be able to show me recent contacts and other things like that. Also, the multitasking has now changed. If you enter Safari, you'll see what I mean. And let's access gsandon.com. Here we go. And as I said before, multitasking is now shown like this in a more beautiful way. As far as the specs are concerned, this remains a 5.5-inch phablet, just like the iPhone 6 Plus, with a full HD resolution. And now we also have that thing called 3D touch, which means an extra layer of pressure will trigger these extra features here. And when you take those live photos, if you tap the screen and keep it pressed, you'll see the moving photo in front of you. You'll see that in the review. Supposedly, this screen offers a 1300:1 contrast ratio. It's an LED backlit screen. And also, you should know that inside the phone, we have the Apple A9 processor. It's a dual-core chipset clocked at 1.84 GHz. We also have the Apple M9 coprocessor, 2 GB of RAM, and a brand new camera, a 12 megapixel shooter here that has optical image stabilization in the phablet version, true tone flash, and it can also do 4K video capture and full HD 60 frames per second video capture. Up front, also a new camera for selfies, a 5 megapixel shooter with f2.2 aperture, and something called a retina flash, which is basically a way for the screen to blink very brightly and be used as a flash for your face. Touch ID gets a new generation. We have LTE, we got Wi-Fi, there's Bluetooth 4.2, NFC, HGPS, and GLONASS. The battery, it actually has a smaller capacity than the iPhone 6 Plus. This time it's 2750 mAh. The predecessor had 2915. On paper, this battery should provide you with 14 hours of video playback or 80 hours of music. We got an unibody metal design here that's now more resilient. It's a new type of aluminum. From what I know, it's 7000 series aluminum, which is not prone to bend-gate, luckily. It's quite a heavy phone, very close to 200 grams. We'll cover that in the full review, as well as this thing here called 3D touch. With the harder pressure, you trigger new options, and this screen is actually a special one. It's a 2.5D ion glass screen with special technologies. You can see it's only slightly curved in the area where it meets the metal. Okay, so that's about it. The first contact with the iPhone 6s Plus here at gsandunknown.com, and we've unboxed it. As usual, we'll be back very soon with a full review of the phablet. It looks interesting for now and a bit heavier than expected. That's it. Bye bye.